You know, when the Chicago Blackhawks drafted this guy in a very stacked 1971 NHL draft, we figured, hey, he's going to be a skater for the Blackhawks for a number of years. But the problem is Chicago had so many established players in the late 60s, early 70s. It was hard for a young player of any background, straight from the OHL or the WHL or the Q League, to break in. But Dan Spring, all the talent in the world, first came into major prominence in the WCHL in '69 with Edmonton. Now the 6', 180 right-handed shot had his best season in his draft year with Edmonton. Now he had 122 points in 65 games, 43 goals, 79 assists. He also played right wing for a while as well. Now he also saw some time with Oshawa of the OHA in 69-70. But the native of Roslyn, BC, who called Cranbrook his hometown for a number of years, basically had some seasoning in the CHL, but it didn't work out. Now, again, the big thing for a lot of people, he had a big write-up in the hockey news when he scored 6 goals for the Edmonton Oil Kings to lead the squad to a 9-5 victory over Winnipeg on October 11, 1970. He had a hat-trick in the first period, a solo in the second, and a brace in the third. Now, he led the WCHL playoffs with 20 goals for Edmonton in 1971. Now we look at that the general style of play, very similar to kind of a bigger version of Russ Courtnall. Now he also played for Edmonton in the '71 Memorial Cup tournament, and was eventually also selected by the Chicago Cougars in the '72 WHA General Player Draft, which was the first draft in WHA history. Now, he was sent to Dallas, Chicago's affiliate in the CHL for seasoning, and helped the squad win the CHL regular season title that campaign. He also won an Adams Cup with Dallas in that same season, probably one of the best CHL teams of all time. Now, he played on the 72-73 Dallas team that won the CHL regular season title, and eventually, after the end of the season, he couldn't break in Chicago, so he signed a WHA contract with the Winnipeg Jets on July 23rd, 73, where his former head coach Bobby Crom was. Now, after leaving Winnipeg, when he wanted a longer contract, he signed with Edmonton in 75 as an unrestricted free agent. Now, his hometown WHL team was quite strong, and he decided after his WHA career to give back to his home region, and he played with Cranbrook in the WHL in 78. 79, he got a promotion as player head coach, and also led the Allen Cup tournament with 6 assists in 5 games before it decided in 82, and of course that year he won the banner and a very exciting tournament. Now, it's kind of weird about him. He has a lot of family connections to hockey, but also the car sales business. He worked as a car salesman at his family's dealership during off-season of his playing days, and all this success, both on and off the ice, drew a lot of interest. He was also named the greatest center in Edmonton Oil Kings history by a CHL panel in 1999. Now, like I said, he played with Dallas, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Cranbrook, of course, and Cranbrook in the Allen Cup side. And after retirement, again, he went to work in the family automotive dealership. Now, his brother, Frank Spring, also played in the NHL. His older brother, minor league skater Derek Spring, was quite talented as well. Now, hockey is deep, like I said, in his family. He's the son of former British Columbia Amateur Hockey Association President Frank Spring, who, again, ran the dealership. Now, injuries really played a big factor in his career. I'm going to go over a little. He missed the remainder of the 73 season and the entire 73 playoffs when he torn ligaments in his knee, suffered during a game against Omaha on February 1873. This really hampered his what he called his minor league career. Now, season-ending surgery for it came on February 22nd. Prior to injury, he also missed games with a strained knee, suffered during a February 7, 73 game at Portland. Some people feel he was pushing on it, and you know with the knee, it's very tricky. He also missed part of the 75 season with a shoulder injury, suffered during a game against Vancouver by the Jets. He did not return for almost 3 weeks. But he re-aggravated the injury when he was checked by Daryl Maggs during a game against Chicago on December 8, 74. Of course, that put him up out for over a month. He didn't come back till a month later against Quebec. So let's look at the rough stats, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas BlackHawks over 2 seasons, 71 points in 106 games, 22 goals. With Winnipeg, he had 24 points in his rookie season, 8 goals. Second campaign, almost 20 goals, 43 points in 60 games. 76, 23 points in 75 contests, including 12 goals. And with Cranbrook Royals of the WIHL, he had 42 goals over 2 campaigns. Very strong seasons. But the Edmonton Oil Kings, again, that final year when he put up those big points, almost a 2-point-a-game pace. Again, he was probably one of the best amateur players of his era. But like I said, Chicago was a loaded lineup. I mean, it would take almost a crowbar to get in because all the established second, third, and fourth line players would be hired someone like Dan to really get in, unless the NHL, unless he was traded. And Chicago wasn't going to take any of these prospects from Dallas, because Dallas had a very strong farm team in this years. Now I want you to go now. These teams that he played on, again, you had players like Dave Crickshaw, you had Gary Donaldson, you had Len Frigg, you had Mike Christie, very underrated player. Mike Visor was down there as well. Michel Dumas manning the cage. But 71-72, his first season, it was Jean Paul, J.P. Bordelot was there, Dan Maloney was there, Bart Crashley, Larry Ramanage, Crickshaw, Frigg. It was like I said, very, very crowded. Even the goaltenders at the time were having a hard time to crack the lineup because he had Esposito and Visor for most of that era. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of Mr. Dan Spring. And again, he's the highest person of that draft, not to make it the NHL, but again, played in the major leagues over a number of seasons in the WHA. But it'd be interesting if Team Canada, once it reorganized, would have reached out to this guy, very, very much a team leader. I'm taking the 77, 78, and 79 tournament when you get sort of like what they call semi-pros like him of great talent to come in and kind of bring their experience. But it's kind of weird, ladies and gentlemen, not to sound bizarre here, but he came into the minor leagues when he was 20, and he did everything he could to get the NHL, but like I said, just bad timing, and the WHA was looking for good quality players like him, and that's what happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of Dan Spring. Thanks for listening. Bye.